Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Juni Taisen Manga chapter reviews, this time for chapter 11, Tiger Sheep. So this is a very sheep-centric chapter, but I actually really liked this chapter. We learned a lot about sheep in a really cool way. The biggest one that stood out to me was that his quantum tunnels are a lie. I was so excited for the quantum tunnels, and they're a lie. It's super clever. It's the smartest thing in the world. To be this little old man and be like, yes, I can control quantum tunnels, and I will send the poison from your body away. It's super clever. That's brilliant. And of course, as the guy who's the most experienced on the battlefield, is what he comes up with. He's all about explosions. So his whole thing is like, yeah, no, I'll help you. Yeah, I'll help you. Yeah, I'm going to help you out. Don't worry about it. Let's work together. You and me, we got this. So he's currently looking for somebody to team up with. I really liked how he has a whole listing of, like, his ranking of the fighters, and a lot of the people that he ranked highly are dead already. Obviously, Ox and Rabbit are okay, but Monkey and Boar and Dog and Snake and Chicken are all dead. And he ranked all of them except for Chicken above himself. So, physically, he's pretty weak. But he won the Night Zodiac War by blowing up the space station he was in? Well, I mean, he was outside of it in a suit, but that everybody else was fighting in? That's super clever. That's a brilliant way to win that fight, and also explains why now they fight in a city instead of on a space station. Super clever, really cool. That actually adds a lot of identification to the world, too, as to like how things are the way they are and why they are the way they are. We also see that he really cares about his family, and that was pretty cool. He wants to take care of his grandson. We learn about his discerning eye, about his Shukaiokuri Hideous Burial bomb, and how it's the culmination of all his life's work. That's going to be a big bomb. He wanted to set it off in the tower at the start, but, Monkey kind of threw that off. It looks like he's probably going to want it teaming up with Tiger, unless Tiger just fights him to kill him. Tiger's surrounded by alcohol. That was, she's clearly drunk, or she's trying to get drunk. I want to learn more about her story. Maybe her whole thing is Drunken Fist, and she needs to get super drunk to be able to fight super well. I also really liked that Sheep didn't eat his jewel. That he hid it instead, because although it looked really good, he didn't like the cut of it. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to put that in my mouth ever. So he's not held back by the poison, which is really cool. I actually thought at first, since he can control wormholes, that maybe he would take the poison out of his own body. So I like that they brought that theory. Obviously it wasn't just mine, a lot of other people were saying that too. But I like that they brought that theory and showed that it's part of his plan is to trick other people into thinking that. So this was a really cool chapter. Everything to do with learning that Sheep was an arms dealer, and that, he would get one over on his opponents by being clever. It works perfectly into the image of this little old man who's just trying to protect his grandson, but he's also super clever. And he will cheat, and he will lie, and he will do whatever he's got to do to protect his family, because family's the number one thing for him. I love that the quantum tunnels were a lie! It was a lie! And that it would have been over immediately at the top of that building, if not for Monkey. I mean, theoretically, Ox might not have died, and Horse looks pretty tough. He might not have died either. But people like Snake and Boar, and even Rabbit, physically they're not that strong. It's just that, Rabbit is strong, but he can't survive an explosion at point-blank range. You know what I mean? So, that would have just been it. Fight over, done. Chapter 2, Sheep versus Ox. Ox is hurt from the explosion, Sheep is not. Guess who's going to win that? I don't know, I just thought it was a really cool chapter. It makes Sheep both seem weak and strong at the same time, because we see where he puts himself on the ranking, but then we also see that he believes he can circumvent that ranking by playing clever and playing smart. So, great chapter. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to another chapter next week. I've been Trey. This has been The Full Spectrum. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Zodiac War has to offer.